Good morning, it's Barbara. It says it's raining, but it's not. So I'm going to be outside. So I ended up being very busy yesterday, and one of the things I did was I went to the garden center and I bought some flowers. These are dianthus, which I thought were very pretty, and I loved the dusty green of them. These two are sages, and these two are phlox. So I have some weeding to do. The phlox are going to go here in the front. I guess the dianthus and the sage are going to go in here. Some of these are volunteer coneflowers from, because I had the coneflowers removed, but coneflowers. I've been picking them out of the the rock border, and I'm going to think about where I'm going to let them stay, because some of them can stay, but I think these three are going in here somewhere. I have not gotten everything I planned to get, I don't think, but I got there and this is what struck me, and so I bought them. And I have a lot of impatience for the deck and area. But look, my irises are coming. I leave on Friday afternoon. My guess is that these are going to come into their own while I'm gone. I leave on Friday. I don't come back home till Tuesday afternoon. But they last a little while, so I'm hoping I won't miss out on them altogether. In fact, what I'm really hoping is that I can take a couple of them and for my Mother's Day. And you can't see it. Oh, there's one little flower you can see. Oh, maybe you can see. My rhododendron is starting to bloom. They start blooming from the top, so I can see the rhodies from my bedroom window, which is so much fun. And there's the apple tree that was so gorgeous earlier. And now hopefully it's making apples. And here is my dogwood. Not in full gorgeousness, but here you go. My lilac and another dogwood are looking very nice. And we have an azalea blooming here, out of sight of the street, but we can see it from the deck. Starting to look good. This got discombobulated in the fall. Oh, look how beautiful. Doing good, girls. Doing very good. And here I am, and there are my impatiens. I got a lot of cleaning up to do. You can see, you can see how gorgeously, my new gate. My mint is doing. Look at this. It's completely taken over. There's only a couple of thistles. We'll get rid of those, and that'll be that. Oh, I was going to get a tomato plant, but I didn't. But what I did get were impatiens. I got what I call regular impatiens, all different colors. They're going in the window boxes and around. And then I got New Guinea impatiens, which I find very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And they will be going in pride of place around the deck somewhere. So we'll see what I end up with. Good morning. It's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. Really lovely out here on the deck. So the cleaning crew is coming today. I did the very minor straightening upstairs. And I'll do some very minor straightening down here and be ready for them. And I will be out working on my flowers while they're here, because I have to keep the dogs company. Oh, the other thing I got was a double hook. So, because I have a hanging basket over here, and we do have another hummingbird feeder that we want to put up. But I have to paint our last year's hummingbird feeder, the little red plastic nozzles that show the hummingbirds, this is where the nectar is, all faded. Red, I've told you this a million times, Red outside of nature is missing a molecule, according to a chemist friend of mine who worked for L'Oreal. And that's why red fades so much in the sun. Anyway, so that red faded. Now I've got the hiccups. But I don't know if you recall, not this past year, but the year before, or maybe 2 years ago, for my Advent, I did an art Advent, and I got acrylic paints in that. Now, I have never used them, but one of them was red. So I am, in theory, going to paint those little flowers again with acrylic. I don't know how acrylic will do. I will be very careful to keep it away from the hole itself. But see if I can redden it up, the old one, and we'll put it up next to a hanging basket, you know. So flowers. I got a bug on my face. Anyway, that's the plan. So while we are on our deck today, the girls and I will be working on the garden. I'm going to be planting the flower boxes under the windows on the shed. They do really well with impatiens. They look beautiful, and it's a nice view from our deck. And I have a basket right here that had a spring arrangement from my parents last year for my birthday, and I'm just going to pile a bunch of impatiens in that. And that's a portable flowers for whenever, you know, whatever. I need to find some other things, tallish things, you know, for the deck. But this is the first pass, and it's more than I've done in the past few years, so I'm feeling good about that. I do not really have anything to update on my dad. My brother feels good about how he's doing, but I called him last night and I called him this morning, and neither time did he answer. So now I got to call the hospital and get them to give me an update, see how he's doing. The last time he was in this hospital, he had trouble with his phone, and they gave him a new phone, and then it worked. So maybe he's having trouble with his phone again. I don't know, but I would like to talk to him. My brother has a very busy day today. I don't know that he'll even be able to go visit him today. That's what happens when you are the child on site, which he is. He's the one who lives in town. So, yeah. Very busy. Meanwhile, I have a little more straightening to do. It's really amazing to me, thinking about my past self, how little I have to do to get ready for the cleaners to come. My past self, it would take me days. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not doing as much, so I'm not leaving stuff around the same like I used to. I don't know. Dennis is a good influence on me. I don't know, because I feel like since Dennis and I got married, I haven't been nearly as messy. So maybe that's it. I need another adult in the house. I'm not sure. But my poor kids, when they were growing up with me, man, they lived in a messy house. They turned out great. So my plan is to work in my garden today, which will be very good for me, as someone pointed out. Very good for me. I read a book yesterday, The Girl in the Box. For some reason, quite some time ago, it must have been on sale. I bought it. So it was, but I never read it. And I bought the box set, so there are 3 of these. So maybe it was cheap to get me into this series. I'm not sure. But it was kind of interesting. It went places. I mean, I had no idea what this book was about when I started it, which is kind of not typical for me. I usually read a blurb, you know. but I don't know who wrote it. So anyway, but I enjoyed it, and I'm planning on reading the next one since I have it, and I'm curious how it goes. So a lot of times I get sort of in the middle of a series and I stop caring what happens, and that's it for me. So, but so far, I'm interested to see what happens in the next book, I will admit. So my plan is to do some knitting, gardening, reading. I went to the gardening shop yesterday, and as I was driving in, I thought, it never occurred to me yesterday morning, because I went about 2:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30. It never occurred to me in the morning that I was feeling energetic. It never, the fact that I might have energy did not cross my mind. But in the morning, before we walked the dogs, I made peanut butter chocolate chip cookies that are very simple, very easy, take 5 minutes. So it's not like a big commitment or anything. But I got up and I made them. And I also made crackers yesterday. We were out of crackers. I thought, and I had taken the cracker dough out of the freezer the day before. So I'm like, I got to make crackers, And then Dennis and I walked the dogs. And when we got done feeding the dogs, I'm like, I'm going to go buy my plants. And so I did by myself, which is kind of why, I was by myself. It wasn't a great day. But I spent plenty of money, and I needed those impatiens because I need to get them started. And I think they're going to be pretty here. These are in the window box. I need to think about where I want the Gerber daisies. I might put 2 of the New Guinea impatiens. 4 of those are New Guinea impatiens, which I love. I might put 2 of them with one of these daisies in between, and then I have pots and plant holders for the other Gerber daisy and the other New Guinea impatiens. And spread them around and put the hanger up and see how things look. I'm also going to sweep because we are covered in maple helicopters here. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to putter, and it seems like it's going to be a really good day to be outside puttering. I don't even have a sweater on or a shawl or anything. I'm quite comfortable. And I need to put better shoes on. I'm wearing my flip-flops. I'm going to need my shovel and digging in the front to plant those things. But I mean, I have 5 big pots that I bought. I might be able to split those big pots of phlox because I do want them a little bit in the front. We had phlox in the front of that flower bed for years, and it looked really good. I mean, there's always weeds sticking out of them and stuff, because I'm not that good at taking care of stuff. But we used to pay for airline tickets for Ora and Garland to fly up from Florida to visit us in May because they like to weed. So I would fly them up, and they would weed. And one year they didn't recognize my phlox as phlox, and they saw them as weeds, and that was the end of that. So she's not going to be doing any weeding. And if I told her those are phlox, she obviously wouldn't weed them. But Ora loves to weed and can't really do it anymore, which is a real shame. Really. She's disappointed. I'm disappointed. But, so I'm putting phlox back in, and those are big pots. So I was wondering, I might be able to mush around and see if I can split them. Maybe I should have bought smaller ones and gotten 4. I don't know. After I get them out of the pots, I'll see if it looks like I could do that without hurting them. If not, I'll just buy more. I clearly am not going to have enough coverage for that flower bed. My irises are spreading like crazy, so I already have a conversation with Manny that I'm going to want to replant. I'm going to split the irises and put some somewhere. And I have to figure out where I want to put them, obviously, because you gotta know that. And I'm not sure where I want to do that. I really love irises, so I want to put it in a place that I'm gonna likely be able to see them. I might make a little bed right here in the corner of the fence. Put them, you know, just like a little flower bed on the outside of that fence, so that when I sit on the deck, I can see them here. But I consider them a cutting garden. You know, I bring those in the house and enjoy them in the house too. So anyway, so I'm thinking garden. I'm thinking I have to, we got so lucky with the weather today. It's been terrible, and now it's gorgeous, and we have to be outside with the dogs, or we have to figure out what to do with the dogs, and having them outside is really the best thing. And so I got very lucky with that. So I'm going to take advantage of that. I have a lot of impatiens. I bought a whole flat of impatiens, all different colors. There was a flat that had all different colors, all the colors I love, and it had a couple open spaces, and I put some striped ones in there too. I don't know that I've ever had striped ones, but I think I'm going to put the I'm going to put a variety in this basket so I can just move them around wherever I want them. The other thing is that this gardening place has a whole patio section, patio furniture section, which I didn't realize. So next time I go, I'm taking one of my crummy cushions and seeing if I can get a cushions that will fit the chairs that my crummy cushions fit, if you know what I mean. You know, take it as a sample to see, to find a set of cushions, because we need cushions. And then, yeah, we're going to clean and arrange the deck, and we'll have flowers. I'm so excited. Or is too. So that'll be fun. Well, maybe I'll bring her out here today instead. Normally she would be up in her room while they're cleaning, but it's such a nice day. She might want to come downstairs. I will ask her. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go upload this. I'm gonna go try to call my dad again and start my day. But I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not too worried about Daddy, because John would tell me if there was something to worry about, I think. And yeah. Impatience, lots of impatience. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please stay safe and stay sane.